We continue to see more and more stories come out about the criminality surrounding the Gulf oil disaster. Professor who downplayed oil spill has federal government contracts. Imagine that. Don't they all? I mean, it always comes out, but yet people still don't pay attention. Quoted in scores of news outlets, appearing on dozens of networks, news programs, and even landing a guest spot on The Late Show with David Letterman, oil spill expert Ed Overton has been a ubiquitous presence in the media throughout the Gulf oil disaster. Professor Emeritus of Environmental Science at Louisiana State University, Overton, who has been criticized for downplaying the effects of the world's worst offshore oil spill in history, has also headed the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration's Chemical Hazard Assessment Team for over 25 years. Yet in nearly every media appearance and even during congressional testimony, Overton, an environmental chemist, has omitted his long-term, high-level contracting position for the federal government through LSU. Many marine scientists have received NOAA grants and funding off and on over the years, and many have omitted such ties during media appearances and congressional testimony. Florida State University oceanography professor Ian McDonald, for example, who's actually been a vocal critic of statements made by BP and NOAA, including their estimates of both the amount of oil flowing into the Gulf while the well was still gushing and how much remained of the well once it had been capped, confirmed to Raw Story via email that he and several other scientists testifying before Congress and speaking to the media haven't necessarily divulged past or present funding from NOAA. That guy, see, and I wanted to trust that guy too, Ian McDonald. I remember seeing him. He was on MSNBC and Oberman, and he was on quite a few of the MSNBC clips. So I think we actually even played some of them. He was the guy that was coming out saying they were lying about how much oil was there, and they were lying about how much had been spewed and all that stuff. And everybody was like, oh, yeah, you know, here's the top level scientist. Well, that just proves yet again what we've been saying, that they put this guy out there in order to get people hopping mad and pissed off about this. Don't you understand? I mean, they want to push us to the breaking point. They're counting on doing everything possible, every sort of evil, nefarious thing possible to push us to the breaking point to where we just, you know, basically have had enough and we lash out. You know, I heard Lee on his show tonight. He made the statement of, you know, whoever fires the first shot in this is going to end up being the big loser. They're going to lose every battle. That's the absolute truth. That's why they are trying to get humanity to fire the first shot so that humanity will be the big loser. Because if this is sparked off by individuals, then folks, that's all the probable cause they need to just pounce on us and kill us all. People are spoiling for a fight right now, and you know, they're pushing us to that point. People need to understand how slick this is. It boggles my mind how many people can learn things about the Federal Reserve and learn things about, you know, the criminal bankers and the Jews and the Zionists and all these other groups and the Bilderberg group, and they learn all these facts, but yet they cannot wrap their mind around the fact that they are trying to goad us into a war, have an excuse to institute all of these directives and FEMA and the concentration camps and all this stuff. I mean, there's a reason why that they put all this stuff in place. They put it there so once they get to the point where they push us to the point where we've just had enough, it's ready, willing, and waiting, and boom. Either way, they win, don't they? Because either way, once they do get us to that point, they would have already furthered their agenda so much farther than they had already. That's the whole point. All this is about advancing the agenda. That's it. And boy, if this doesn't make you want to barf, I think I just puked a little bit. Hold on, in my mouth a little bit, just reading the title of this article. It's up on the website as well. Obama to give George Bush Sr. Poppy Magog the Presidential Medal of Freedom. The presidential medal of sucking Satan's cock. Suck that big scaly world pecker, Georgie, suck it. Former President George W. Bush George Herbert Walker Bush is among 15 people selected to be awarded the Presidential Medal of Sucking Satan's Cock, Freedom. The White House announced Wednesday night. The Medal of Freedom, America's highest civilian honor, is awarded for an especially meritorious contribution to the security or national interests of the United States. Yeah, kind of like how I tell you what, nothing made me laugh funnier than when I heard that George Herbert Walker Bush had been made an Order of the Garter by Queen Elizabeth, or by the Queen of England. I mean, have you ever went and looked up Order of the Garter? Go and look up the Order of the Garter. Even look at it on something that's mainstream like Wikipedia. Look at it anywhere. Look up the Order of the Garter and look what the definition of it is. In order to be awarded the Order of the Garter and become an Order of the Garter, you have to have proven your undying servitude to the Queen of England. And almost all the people on there are all British, except George Herbert Walker Bush got the award. So you're telling me that George Herbert Walker Bush showed undying servitude to the Queen of England? Doesn't that go against everything that we're told, an American is supposed to do? Why isn't that on the 6 o'clock news? I mean, America should be happy, man, that they have a former president who was awarded one of the highest awards you can be awarded by the British aristocracy for his undying servitude to the Queen of England. Excuse me, this country was allegedly supposed to have been founded on breaking free of England, not because we're subservient to them. But of course, it's all in the family. I mean, look at the picture of these people. Look at the Queen. Look at Barbara Pierce Bush. I mean, look at all. They're all bloodline anyway. And so is Obama. So it's Obama giving the presidential award to a member of his family. That's really all it is.